Know that feeling when you find a new series that you cannot take your eyes off your Kindle? Like you just read and read and read until it's just over. And that was me with the Off Balance series by Lucia Franco. This is a very taboo, toxic, messy age gap romance between a girl striving for the Olympics and her gymnastics coach. Now, this series is not for everyone. If you do not like any of the things I just mentioned, if you do not like age gap, taboo, toxic romances, this will not be for you, but it was very much for me. We follow Adriana Rossi, and her dream is to become an Olympic gymnast. And where she currently lives, they don't have any elite level coaches. And she wants to go to a new training place to be trained to be an elite gymnast and then hopefully one day make it to the Olympics. So her dad calls up his friend, Konstantin Kornikova, who is a gymnastics coach and owns a gym. And he's supposed to be one of the best in the world. He is a past Olympian, like gold medals and silvers in the Olympics multiple years in a row, world champion, like big, well known Olympic gymnast. And so she moves by herself to this new town in Georgia, which is like driving distance from where she used to live on her own and also train full time, like 50 hours a week at this gymnastics facility. And sparks happen with this coach, and he is also in a relationship. So if you do not like cheating, this is also probably not for you. But it is just the most addictive thing I've read in a very long time. Like, my mom came up to me and was like looking at Life 360 on Sunday night when I was about to finish the series and was like, "You haven't left the house since Thursday." And I was like, "Yes, that is correct. I have been reading this book series since Friday afternoon." And I read 500-page plus books in 3 days. Like, that's how addicting these were. The audiobooks were also really well done. I loved the accents and the voices. It was so good. Just I could not look away from the series. Like, it was so addictive. It is one of those series that will make you so angry, but you cannot help but root for them. Like, I felt this way the last time was when I read Magnolia Parks. And this is so different from Magnolia Parks, but it gave me the same feeling that I felt when reading Magnolia, and it just, oh, it was so good. And like as somebody who grew up in like the acrobatic and gymnastics world, like I love to read this because sadly, this was such an accurate story of what life in this sport is like. And don't get me started on the spice in this book because oh my god, this is one of the spiciest things I've ever read, and just that spice is top tier. Like I can't even explain how good her spicy scenes were because they were fantastic. They were very often. I also absolutely loved how plot driven this was. Like even though it's a romance, the plot of her reaching her goals to get to the Olympics is very much like prominent in the story. We see like her training with her coach, her going to competitions, her stretching, her conditioning, her dealing with injuries, her dealing with like the strain this sport puts on her body. Like just watching this girl strive for her dreams was incredible. It was such an inspirational and also like gut-wrenching, beautiful story that does have a happy ending. And if this genre is something you are into and you have not read these books yet, you have to do so now. You have to read them now, and they are on Kindle Unlimited, so you have no excuse not to read them because you will not leave your bed for 3 days, like me, while reading because that is how good these are.